And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LPL, live here on Twitch TV. My name is Rapid, I'm here with Nero, and there are your stats for game number 1, World Elite Academy, coming out with a win versus OMG, the last beating the formerly first place team in LPL. A little bit of an upset, to say the least. Still an incredible game, game number 1. And the MVP will be Khan. You called it earlier, Nero. The top lane contribution, 5, 1, and 10. Got out of his lane, which was actually a lane that he was losing. Decided to win the game elsewhere on the map. The roam was just too good. And Khan going, and exerted his presence on the map for the game 1 victory for World Elite Academy.
Yeah, and this Rod of Ages Lulu was kind of questionable, as you said too, so after Khan just won every single other lane, he just steamrolled through his own and ended up winning the game for World Elite Academy. That's a really well-deserved MVP right there. And what do OMG do right now? World Elite Academy, as we said, they have nothing to lose, so they can pull out the craziest strats there are, and they can just win the games.
Well, I'm not sure if that was necessarily a crazy strat. You kind of have to deal with Lucian on this patch. He is incredibly strong. 4.12 was the Lucian patch. Like, everybody played him. Mid lane, bottom lane, top lane, everywhere. You just saw Lucian start to emerge, and very, very strong on guys like XQ from LGD, of course, in their 2 games that they won earlier on today. Versus Young Glory. So you're going to be seeing him a lot because this is actually the last patch that that LPL will have before playoffs, I believe. I don't think they're patching next week. So I think this is going to be the biggest patch you'll ever see. Lucian makes it is a big part of that.
Alright, so right now we are waiting for the picks and bans for the second game of this best of 2, and going, he definitely needs to step up his play if he wants to keep his title of one of the best top laners in China. Well,
I don't think he has
not
to worry about losing that title to Hanbalong or Khan, if you want to call him by his new name. He is so new to LPL that I don't think he's Going's really going to get dethroned. But he does have to, show up sooner or later, and OMG did take a 1-1 score versus Young Glory, so maybe they just go 1-1 versus the bottom teams. We'll have to see if they can pick it up in game number 2.
Yeah, of course, I know that he's not gonna get dethroned by Hanlabong, but the Chinese fans are so eager to criticize, and Pomelo was already a victim of that, and well, OMG losing an easy game, supposedly an easy game against World Elite Academy. They are gonna get some bad words on their Weibos, I think.
Just a few. So I'm expecting a victory from OMG, just like I was again in game number 1. But actually, I believe the female caster predicted a 1-1 score from this game. Everybody else was like 2-0 OMG. So she's looking a little bit ahead in the standings now that World Elite Academy has picked up game number 1.
Yeah, that's impressive. Like, how do you predict these games? That is some next level thing.
Highlighting over the crowd there. These are like the big seats, the best seats in the house, down on the floor. Of course, big bleachers set up behind them. I'm pretty sure that's... Okay, yeah, I was a little bit unsure. Is that Japanese? No, it's
no.
A lack of knowledge of Chinese on my part.
Actually, Japanese has a mixture of Chinese characters too, so...
Yeah, I saw one of them in there, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not sure if they're just highlighting international fans in the audience, or if they are just showing some people in the crowd. And it does look like there are quite a bit of people here, even though it is Young Glory and World Elite Academy playing, traditionally get less viewers. It's OMG, and you gotta come out for these guys. A lot of big OMG shirts in the audience, and you can see some man, World Elite Academy should be a little bit happier after a game 1 win.
Well, they got relegated just now, so
yeah, that still has to weigh on you, so still a little bit rough to deal with.
But still, you have to be happy that you won a game against OMG, against such titans. that is definitely a good thing for them. And if they are good, they are just gonna come back into LPL the next season.
Well, we'll see if they make it back into LPL next season once they finish through relegations. But we have to watch out for OMG and see exactly where they finish this season because they are still trying to climb back to that first place spot now that they have been dethroned by Starhorn Royal Club. So SHRC back up in the top. See if OMG can overtake them. And back into the picks and bans. It's a big focus should be put on to probably, I want to say Mickey God. I want to see the Lucian ban, man. This is a big champion for a big patch, and OMG didn't respect it.
But this Yasuo was also unbanned the whole picks and bans phase. So Mickey could have just picked it up himself, no problem. So most probably he's just gonna go for Yasuo, or maybe for a Zed, or maybe for any other champion, because he's such a talented mid laner. He shouldn't have any problems with that. And actually they are the ones to ban Lucian. It's World Elite Academy.
Well, with the Lucian ban, it's more like World Elite Academy, their strats, their realization that Lucian is too good. So they picked up a game off of OMG, and that's a pretty good illustration that was definitely a part in their victory. So not wanting to go against it now, they face the wrath of not Gragas or Maokai top lane, which is somewhat surprising. Going. He should just go grab that Shyvana. That's what he did so well on earlier on. But instead he'll take the Lee Sin down for Drug, which is kind of confusing to me because Drug's Lee Sin in game 1 was not
he was
best.
0-6. It's the exact score that he was sitting on like halfway through the game, and not even at the end, so he was doing even worse later on. So definitely Gogoing should just go for the carry role himself instead of picking this one up. But as I said, Mickey, no Yasuo, no Lucian, so he'll go for the Zed. And he was doing so well on it last time he played it.
Yeah, Mickey, a big Zed player. I want to see him bring back the Jace. That was my favorite champion that he brought back and did very well with. But Zed, of course, maybe a little bit coming back. We've seen him in OGN, NLB, a lot of Asian leagues as a return to the mid lane. Still very strong, but only in very situationally. And when you don't know 4 out of 5 picks that your opponents are going to go for, might be a little too early to grab the Zed.
World Elite plays against LGD tomorrow, so maybe you will see the Jace coming out from Ninja.
Maybe. Ninja does do the Jace too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and he actually does that a little bit more than Mickey. But there we go, Tristana lock-in for OMG. So this time around it most probably will be San playing this champion. So what SMLZ wants to grab, this Kog'Maw that he usually plays, or something else?
I would well, okay, so you have the Zed to deal with Tristana. Anytime there's a hyper carry, you can either run a counter hyper carry or just go for the assassination. And oh, this is going to be a twisted fate for Mickey, looking to take that away from.
No, I don't think so. Like, what do you go for? Zed mid? Zed top? I'm sorry. Nah.
Yeah, I mean, is that going to be a Zed top? They still haven't chosen their mid laner. They could hold this to the last pick and surprise runs Khan on Zed top. But that would be very counter to the playstyle he's been going as far as champions are concerned.
I don't know. They are waiting for the pick of Gogoing to pick up a top laner rather than a mid laner, I think. Oh, it's a bold move right here.
Ooh, the Sivir, SMLZ.
It is. Yeah, the Sivir for SMLZ. But
okay, well. Sivir versus a Tristana. Let me give you a little bit of a heads up on how this is gonna work. Tristana, at the end of everything, will have like 700 range. Sivir will have 450. And you just kind of look at that and you're like, there's a small amount of distance between those two numbers, and then you realize that is actually a lot larger distance than you would like to have. So I don't know why they're going for such a big discrepancy between 80 carries. Maybe looking to lane swap? Hope they lane swap, but then why is there a Renekton in there? You don't shove Renekton into a 2v1 lane unless you want to start out with the old school double jungling. So weird picks from World Elite Academy. We'll see how they work out against the very meta OMG.
Yeah, and actually it's a bold move from Gogoing going up against Khan on Khan's champion.
Oh, that is
Aurelia.
true. Yeah, and plus it's Aurelia into Renekton, and even though Renekton has been nerfed just a little bit, it's still a very good matchup for Renekton for the first 6 levels.
Yeah, so, well, another interesting matchup, but we don't have a Lucian in the middle this time around, but there is a Sivir that we haven't seen for quite a long time.
Yeah, the Sivir coming out is the weirdest pick. I mean, Ari you don't see a lot, and so maybe that's somewhat strange, but to bring that out versus a Zed is just a really good matchup. You have the range to harass, you have the ability to out-chase, out-escape, and really out-roam too, if you want to look at it that way. So really good reaction there by Cool. Maybe not a champion that he plays a lot of, but still one that is solidly in his repertoire. Don't have the stats on his last played RE games, but champion on champion should do very well against the Zed pick coming out from Mickey God.
Alright, so we're getting into the game in just a second. World Elite Academy versus OMG, the second match of this best of 2 series. And World Elite Academy being 1 game up against OMG. A thing that, well, not many of you expected to see here, I guess.
I know I certainly didn't, but hey, I'm not complaining. Let's go ahead and hop into game number 2 here in just a second. We're loading out onto the Rift for our last game of the night. It's World Elite Academy facing off against OMG. OMG trying to climb their way back up to top of the standings, and World Elite Academy, they're putting in some practice for relegation.
I guess Mickey forgot to buy an item right there.
Yeah, he was one potion short. He bought a longsword and 2 potions instead of a longsword and 3. So he had to head back to base to grab another one.
Yeah, so Cool back on his Ari. I remember his performance as the previous split. That was quite a good one. Believe me or not. He's a beast on this Ari, but can he pull it off? Mickey is also quite a strong player, and he's sitting on the Zed. Might be dangerous. So a lot of action in the middle lane most probably coming.
Probably. First we gotta have a dance-off between Druk and Soist. I'm pretty sure, and we talked about this earlier on from OMG. When they're playing the bottom 2 teams in LPL, they don't prepare, or they troll, or they just don't take the game seriously. OMG have had a lot of struggles with that recently, and well, not recently, like the entire split. They've thrown some weird games that they should not have lost, or not even thrown them. They just haven't taken them seriously. So, WEA Academy pick up a game 1 win, and now they will look to dash OMG's first place hopes on the craggy rocks of LPL Despair, as they start things off with a kind of an accepted 2v1, but they are already going to run into a very early 2v2. And this actually should work out pretty well for Sivir. It does do a lot of area of effect damage, and that close range will not help San when both 2v2 lanes face check into each other.
Yeah, and, well, World Elite Academy, I think that they came out on top of this trade by a little bit. But as you said, the Sivir, with the levels flowing onto San's account, she'll just get weaker and weaker, and San will get stronger and stronger. Just because the range difference is going to be too big.
Yeah, the 2-on-2 face check that we just saw right there indicates to me that I don't think either team really expected to have a duo bottom lane matchup. I think that it was OMG that were more likely to switch the duo top lane because they can abuse the Renekton and they can get San in a lane where he can hyper carry farm. So this is kind of strange to see the solo lanes preserved out throughout these 80 carry picks, because you wouldn't traditionally run a Sivir into a Tristana. That's a little bit strange.
Alright, so we do have a little bit of a CS advantage for Khan in the top lane, and now I think that GoGoink will be a little bit more careful there, but Cloud a little bit of damage.
Yeah, Cloud is going in, but it's the standard level 2. It's not necessarily an all-in, but it is designed to put on a lot of pressure. And it's, you know, mission accomplished. UJ takes half his health and damage, so can't get much better than that.
Oh, there might be a gank on towards the middle lane by Sois, but will it work
Holy
out?
cow, he runs right into the charm. Now Cool flashing out. Does take a few ticks of the ignite, but Mickey not able to go back in and try to take on Cool. Zenith Blade, a nice flay back from UJ, and he gets the death sentence pulled back in onto San. A little bit of damage there, exhaust down onto SMLZ. The summer spells coming out hot and heavy, and a nice outplay there. UJ kind of taking San to school. Oh, Mickey God, there's a charm to land. Cool, making it look easy. 2-0 in the mid lane for OMG.
And Khan also being a bully in the top once again. But yeah, OMG coming out on top, getting the first blood, the second blood. And it's all on Cool, sitting on 2-0 right now. So yep, this Ari once again is going to be quite a scary champion to deal with. But in the top lane, meanwhile...
Going a nice safeguard in there. Drug coming in for the counter. Going still has to be very, very careful. Khan's gonna get some backup for himself as well. He flashes out, but it's not in time. Going is gonna need just a little bit of distance. Drug's gonna go down there. Sois takes one turret shot, finds a kill, and now 3-1. OMG. Nice kills traded back there. Drug a little bit too overzealous. Wound up getting taken out. Nice charm continuing to land. Man, Mickey is in love in this lane. 3 charms in a row to the face.
So what happened to Cloud? He actually changed his nickname back, so maybe he wasn't allowed to do this.
That was a little bit troll. Game number 1 using Pomelo. So he's back to Cloud. The man we know and love.
Yep, that was a good one though.
Can't say I've ever seen that one before. The 4th charm in a row hitting through the minion line. Another engaged here. Cloud can't find the stun. But again, UJ right onto San. He has taken that guy down every single time. Cloud tries to go in. He flays Cloud back and then death sentences San. It's just, UJ is owning that bottom lane.
I want to see Khan winning in this top lane, but, well, he just died. Unfortunately, a little bit over-aggressive, a little bit overconfident. But he's still leading in CS, even though he went down, and it's Going who got the kill.
Cool, really doing wonders in that mid lane. He got double buffs off the kill, and I'm not sure if these are the glitched permanent double buffs. But if they're not gone in another couple of minutes, we'll know that they aren't quite there. Either way, he picked up the early kill onto Drug, or onto Sois, rather. Drug on his own team, of course. But early kill onto Sois, and then he killed off Mickey God, too. So he is, I don't think you can ask for a much better start. Especially versus a Zed, who's just going to keep getting punished even harder.
Well, Sois looking for a gank, but unfortunately, nothing will happen right there.
Yeah, not even with any boots, Cool's still able to avoid the bolo. I think at that point you just keep walking and save the bolo strike and then try to get a little bit closer off of that, waiting for the juke. But Cloud's still positioning aggressively, looking for engage down in the bottom lane. Turns on the Zenith Blade, gets it all the way in there. This time the stun does not land, and again UJ 3 times in a row. The flay back on the Zenith Blade and lands the death sentence onto San. He has just got his number down there. I don't know what SMLZ would do without a support that good. And keep in mind that's UJ, who has not had the strongest support performances, suddenly just showing up in the bottom lane, really outplaying Cloud's engage attempts.
But it's a basic thing, you know. Why would you focus on a tanky Leona while you have a squishy?
I can see that the flay back on the Zenith Blade is basic, but the ability to then, in the same breath, grab the AD carry is pretty spectacular. Sois, though, gonna stealth up there, jumping right on to Going. There's a nice minion wave there. It's gonna block the bolo strike, but Kaz just got too much damage, and a nice 2v1 gank top lane. Going down.
And World Elite Academy slowly coming back to this game, because in the bottom lane they do have the advantage just because UJ is pulling off these perfect plays, as you just said. So, yep, the World Elite Academy just 500 gold difference.
This Leona pick is not necessarily working out too well, and I feel like it's not even just champion-wise. OMG, I think they wanted the 2v1 lane. That would have worked out so much better. You could have had the support either roam into the jungle for extra pressure, look for the dive on a Renekton, which would still work out if you farm hard enough, or you just send him to gank mid lane over and over again, which OMG are no strangers to doing. So the option to go for the 2v2, you can see UJ really countering that duo lane matchup out. Still though, it's not just about the first 10 minutes of the game. You gotta look for that. Oh, Drug gonna find out. Khan gets the Dragon's Rage, kicked him back into going. Now Khan trying desperately to dash over the wall. Can he get it? Gets the slice, the dice, but no peel. Going over the wall with a nice... He perfectly predicted that. Threw the trinket ward over and then just Blade Surge. Perfect pick onto Khan.
Yeah, and as soon as Khan gets something in the top lane, actually he didn't get a kill because Sois takes that. He got some assists, but then he dies again. And unfortunately, Khan will not be the carry this time around. And, well, that's because he doesn't really use the teleport too well.
Well, I mean, Khan did get an MVP last game from using the teleport very well. So, you gotta give him some credit. Game number 1 still in the books. And it was a very strong performance from Khan, so... talking about the bottom lane, back in town, it's Sivir who is actually ahead in CS. Cloud gonna get death sentence here, pulled right into the box. There's no AD carry to help him. San was off farming double golems, and the spell shield of the solar flare. Cloud's still very, very tanky. UJ now backing up. There's both junglers incoming to this bottom lane, so action will heat up again.
Wow, this is incredible. UJ
grabs him out of the jump backwards, immediate teleports out of the bottom lane. All of a sudden, you got both junglers, both top laners. They're all coming down. Bottom lane, it's a 4v4 out of nowhere. And it does look like it is going to be going, and they're getting at least some kill participation. Jump back from San and Drug. But support for top laner traded out, and I don't think this fighting is done. Out of nowhere, a 2v2 turns into a 1v2, turns into a 4v4. As both teams just smashing the bottom lane with everything they can throw at it.
No, OMG do come out on top of that, but Mickey might want to say something in here too.
Mickey, cool, death mark's gonna come out there. Isn't enough to safeguard from Drug, gonna keep cool, safe, and sound. Mickey not overextending. Heads back to that mid lane where Cool has to head back to base.
So that fight in the bottom lane was a little bit chaotic, but what I wanted to say is that UJ, finally you had to grab Cloud because you were in a 2v1, but then he once again grabs San, and that was a perfect
out of the
sentence.
air. He predicts the jump timing. Like, where does this guy come from? I feel like more than any other region, teams in LPL just randomly have like flashes of brilliance where they'll just plays that you'd never seen out of them the entire season. Like, where was this UJ for the entire split while World Elite Academy was busy being last place, winless? Keep in mind, both Young Glory and World Elite Academy went through like 3 or 4 weeks of LPL without any wins. So, I feel like plays like this could have helped him out a little bit there.
Yeah, and UJ is just doing so well. And in the previous game, he was just a support. He was just there. He was not having such brilliant plays. But this time around, he's just doing so well. It's a different player, like, out of this world. Well, Cloud went for the Pomelo nickname, so now Pomelo goes for the UJ nickname on the other hand, and joins World Elite Academy to help them win the game. And now, wow.
Nice Dragon's Rage on Mickey, but it's just not enough. You walked into 3 champions. Famous last words of many supports were, I was just warding. And that is, of course, what Drug was doing. Still winds up giving up kill. And even though Drug did die there, a perfect play back again on the Cloud. And now UJ looking to get back into for a death sentence. San, only 1 minion there to defend him. We'll see if he can get death sentenced again. If the action's going to heat up anywhere else.
Oh. 5-4 in favor of OMG, so they got a kill in the bottom lane, but then World Elite Academy traded a little bit later, killing Drug.
Oh, Khan's gonna turn on the ultimate. It's got the Tiamat proc there too. Relatively even there versus going, but he just can't keep going there in that fight as the rage keeps building for Khan. The mana is gonna decrease for going. Extended fights. Not going to work out in that Aurelia's favor. Now, Soas is going to walk over a ward, so not too sneaky. And you can see Drug right there waiting for the counter gank.
Yeah, but still not much happening. But Khan, he already went for the aggression. Going had to defend himself, and Khan has no ultimate. And Drug may be willing to find a kill right there.
Yeah, that was really bad call for Khan. He went in before he saw Drug come out, and Soas will flash over the wall and make it out alive. But yeah, Khan just lack of foresight. Didn't check for the counter gank before he went in for the dive.
Alright, so now OMG do get this 2-kill advantage, but still the goal is really close in World Elite Academy. After the previous game, I can say that they still are capable of coming back to this one.
Death Sentence looking for a pick. Probably not going to find anything, but still putting that pressure on. Cool's been more content to just stay mid lane. He hasn't really had to roam for kills because they've been coming to him. The 2 kills in the first 10 minutes of the game really helping set him ahead in that lane. But Mickey's found one of his own, and he's staying at least close in CS, which is pretty good considering the way the game started.
Alright, so it's 15th minute, and well, the dragons should start falling in just a second, because still no dragon has gone down as of yet. And that doesn't really happen too often in the LPL. We usually see the first dragon around like 9th or 10th minute.
UJ, like, he started coming back, I think it was games yesterday, where he was just really on point, and he kept eating his Wheaties, looking very good tonight as well. I forget which games World Elite played last night. Oh, it was versus Young Glory in their 2-0. So
Yep.
really key in that. Khan's going to turn on his ultimate, trying to turn this one around, but Going's going to have cooldowns back up, and Khan cannot fight that. Going. Winning out that 1v1, forcing Khan back to base. So Khan had the lead early on, but now Going's winning back the lane, which is pretty cool to watch. UJ looking good yesterday in their games versus Young Glory, and even better tonight versus OMG, regardless of whether they're playing the team on the bottom or on the top of the standings.
And additionally, that's the first time that Going won a 1v1 against Khan in this best-of-2 series. So, wow, that's massive. Going finally comes back to being the better top laner, but it's an 0-4 Renekton at the moment.
Now, one thing to say about, at least as far as like the scaling's concerned, is that World Elite Academy, they're looking good in like the lane phase. Oh my god! UJ almost hitting that. The duo lane is far and away going in World Elite Academy's favor. But that might be a little bit more, just because this is still the lane phase and less team fighting actually happening right now. Oh my gosh, he died. Goes for it again. Still can't get the grab on San as he's rocket jumping away. So when are we going to expect to see lane phase start to break here? Because this has been about 16.5 minutes of pretty unanimously agreed on 1v1 lanes and farming.
Yeah, most probably there's going to be a lot of aggression from OMG. They have the potential to grab some picks with this Lee Sin. They have Cole, who's been hitting a lot of these charms lately. So that might be quite a nice team fighting comp for them.
OMG gonna start up the 2-man Baron, or 2-man Dragon. Baron, of course, on the other side of the map. But probably not what they're looking for. Death Mark, or Death Sentence rather, right on to UJ. He gets blown apart before the fight even starts. Drug stays safe and sad with a nice Dragon's Rage kick back onto Soas. Going in a little bit of trouble here, as he will be going down. Yes, finally getting taken out. Cool, the man of the hour. Finally the first kill. Will he find the last? Soas is going to jump on him. He's got the push for another jump. And he's also got the jump through the empowered Bola Strike onto Cool. Takes him down. A big play there by Soas, taking charge through the brushes and coming out with a kill on Cool.
Now the dragon will be secured by World Elite Academy. The smite is still there, while on the other hand, Drug, well, he might try to contest this one.
Cloud is with him there, and everybody very low. He does not get the smite steal, and now they're all just gonna die there. They don't find a kill, and a horrible engage there. OMG, like, I mean, what are you doing? That was, you just give up the dragon. You don't try to go in, not get the dragon, not get any kills, and give 2 more kills away. Like, That is highly questionable. OMG now very far behind. Even though it may not look that way if you look at the gold count.
Yeah, but, well, as we said at the very beginning of the game, actually, UJ might be in a little bit of trouble right here.
Yeah, UJ should die here. It's a pretty free pick underneath the turret. Going is just going to tank that one up and get out of there alive. So, yeah, UJ, after some, I don't know, clairvoyant lane phase that just looked incredible, starting to have a few issues now that things are breaking. He's forced to either be in lane by himself or forced a team fight with the rest of them.
And, well, Going is staying in the bot, so he might be looking for some more aggression.
Yeah, Going will flash out there, but San still had his ultimate, so... Alright, this is the OMG we know. They're punishing World Elite Academy for being way out of position and kind of trusting them to play fair. OMG are not going to play fair. They're just like, oh, what's that? You're by yourself? Go for the dive. And now you're 80 carries by yourself? Dive again. So do dive philosophy, OMG, coming out ahead.
That is really unfortunate for World Elite Academy, actually. It was a 4-0 Sivir, so they got the shutdown bonus. Of course, I mean, OMG hope a drug in a little bit of danger. But it's actually World Elite Academy who are on the other side of the map.
Oh, and now Cool's trying to find Soist. I didn't realize the Foxfire didn't track if Soist was invisible. But now Deathmark on a drug is going to pop from this one. Mickey's got the damage. Leads him to explode, and he's out of there. Hits the R button. Makes it back out alive. Now Soist might go for a little bit of extra aggression. Going might want something. UJ is going to take a little bit of extra burst. Cloud looking for the engagement ball. Two-man solar flare lands. He's got the Zenith Blade, but he might be in there a little bit ahead of schedule. Soist survives, and so does UJ for the time being. Gives San the reset, leaps right in onto Khan. No, San, you just jumped on the enemy top laner. Found 1, 2, 3. Oh, baby, it's a triple. San grubbing in for another kill, and holy hell, it's a full house. 5 for 2 exchange in favor of OMG.
And it looked so good for World Elite Academy at the very beginning, but they overstayed their welcome right there. San, you cannot let this Tristana have 3 kills. I was just about to say that SMLZ, wow, he got 4 kills on this dragon fight, so he's 4-0 against an 0-1 Tristana, I think it was. So yeah, Tristana is naturally a better champion than Sivir, but then when Sivir gets fed, she is a little bit better. But now San, well, no problem. He gets another triple kill. He gets the red buff. He's gonna be big.
I have no idea. That was so, like, as an AD carry, like, when you think about how you're gonna go for these fights, every other region in the world says don't go in, with the exception of guys like maybe Vasily or Zuna, where they're just like, hey, gap closers on 80 carries are to engage, right? But everywhere else, you're just like, don't jump into that. San's just like, well, I gotta get some resets. So he jumps into Khan, into 3 champions, and just blows Khan away. Khan explodes, and then resets after resets after resets. The triple kill coming out there in the end. And of course, Cool in there for kill participation too. Not the smartest play, but it worked out. So what else can you say? 6, 1, and 3 for both OMG carries.
Yeah, and this is gonna hurt World Elite Academy a lot right now. Well, they had a big chance of coming back into the game. They actually had a little bit of a gold lead when they won the dragon fight, but they threw it away so easily. No turrets actually secured right there. The outer turret in the middle lane was still alive, and they go into the jungle of their enemies. That is not the smartest move.
Not the smartest move. Okay. To be fair, you can't really say, like, compare, quote-unquote, the smartest move to the move that works the best. Because San, he just jumped straight into the enemy team, and that was the... and came out with a bunch of kills. Now, Going's pretty dead here, as Mickey God does have Deathmark, and he didn't want to use it, but he did, just because... you know, hey, why not grab a free kill? But now you actually have to watch out for the retaliation, because with the top laner dead, this is a 4v5, and Baron is a big deal right now. If Soist can find a pick there, doesn't want to jump into the enemy team, but OMG now getting pushed away from the Baron pit, because look at the bottom lane. San is split pushing. He takes the 2nd tier bottom lane turret, and now he's actually going to peel towards mid lane. If World Elite Academy try anything crazy like Baron, they'll just lose their base.
Oh, Cool gets caught right there when he's trying to jump in. That might be a
Huge pick for Soist. He just snares him down there, but it's actually not Cool that's taking the turret. He'll get in and make it back out alive. Lee Syndrome not gonna be hit for drug as he does not want to go too deep down there. But Cool, man.
Just UJ.
Yeah, exactly. UJ goes down, so it's only one pick. Still a defensible mid lane turret. Perfect snare there by Soist to land it onto Cool when he dashed in.
Yeah, Zonia's Hourglass completely denied the kill onto Cool. And they got a kill onto support, but, well, it's just support. UJ had some brilliant plays in the early game, but right now he's not doing too much for World Elite Academy anymore, so it's kind of okay for them, but still, OMG is gonna get so much. They're gonna get turrets, they're gonna get a dragon, and even more kills. It brings them a lot of gold, and it transforms into the items. And let's just look at that, 614 right now for both of the carries. They are just getting assists and kills at the same pace.
Soist looking for an engage here. OMG caught underneath the bottom turret. I think that's exactly where they want to be. You can see them just poking out, defending, re-engaging. Now Soist gonna get Dragon's Rage over the wall. Lee Syndrome, no! Drug. Remarkable self-control, not able to fight anything. Cool. Also using all of his ults to engage, but still can't find a pick on World Elite Academy.
Oh, but the re-engage might be coming in from World Elite Academy. It's not a smart move, though.
Sand gets death marked, and the teleport from Going is going to come in there, and he is just going to turn this fight way around. Dives to the backline, gets one reset, looking for another onto Khan. He's going to grab that one. They keep coming in for San. Now UJ, the last man left alive, but not for long. Going going to come in there with a stun from the Equilibrium strike, and it's the last kill of that team fight for San as he picks up the ace.
Yeah, double for Going, triple for San, and this Tristana, well, San is gonna be unstoppable right now. It's as if he didn't even have the damage that he needed up until now. So he's just gonna pick up another item and eat everyone,
yeah,
so to say.
Tristana down in the bottom lane, heating things up, and now jump backwards. You can see San takes the death mark, but Mickey is in no position to get any additional damage down. So San's just free to DPS in the backline, and the TP from Going, he sees Mickey in the backline, flash, Blaze Surge, gets the reset. And with the resets coming in for San as well, you don't think of Trist Irelia as a reset-based team comp, but that's exactly what they just turned it into, and one after another. Finally coming in for the Equilibrium strike, Sun into the San auto attack kill. OMG with the ace. Now 21-14, 7 kill advantage there. They're heading basically every way. Drug with the blue buff steal. Just let them have something. Come on, man. Take it easy. But Drug did not have a good game number 1, so I don't think he's going to be pulling any punches here.
Alright, so now OMG do have a huge advantage actually, but the Baron is still there.
Don't say it, Nero. It's not necessary.
It's already like the first dragon got killed at 17 minutes. That's a thing that rarely even happens in the LPL. Usually the first dragon falls at like 10th minute. So maybe they are just waiting for the Baron. Like 10 more minutes and then World Elite Academy is gonna win the game. But I don't really believe it, but it's still a possibility. It happened in the LPL. It happens pretty much every second game that we see. So it's not like me not talking about it is gonna make it not happen.
That is true. It is somewhat inevitable at some point or another. And OMG are no strangers to throwing away huge leads. So we'll have to keep an eye onto that. Cool, hanging back, letting the minions do the scouting for him. Still looking for a pick. Has a Medjai's Soul Stealer. In case you weren't keeping track of that item. So saw Medjai's in the previous game, previous series from, I believe it was Dian Gun's LeBlanc, but see if Cool's Medjai's works out a little bit better.
So 7 kills advantage right now in favor of OMG, and as I said, they will be looking for this Baron. Oh, that's kind of a questionable positioning.
Cool force to Zanya's, but now that actually just sets him up for a nice kill. You can see Mickey's going in on him, but San's got the damage to turn that back around. Mickey God will go down. It's Mickey Demigod right now, and even though went on earlier on there, Khan couldn't find the damage and was forced to retreat alive. Now Drug gonna get in there. Tempest, Cripple's gonna land. The follow-up Sonic Wave there. Does he have the damage? I don't think so. SMLC finds a kill somehow on a Cool. This is not the 1v1 we need to be watching. There's a team fight going on, but we'll get the replay off of that. Drug still looking for the kill on Khan. Flashes in, gets the auto, and will safeguard out to his team.
And the ace is there, so probably the inhibitor turret and the inhibitor will fall. But yeah, Going has a double G in his nickname, so maybe he's God Going or something like that, if you want to call it with a god.
I don't know, maybe he's like OG Going. They just forgot the O, or it wouldn't fit in his name. But yeah, like you said, turret, inhibitor, they're both going to OMG, and now OMG, they've got everything they need except the Baron buff. So, always a possibility. We got to keep that on our minds.
Alright, so OMG, they actually didn't secure the Baron, but they secured an inhibitor. That's a nice thing as a compensation for this Baron getting stopped by World Elite Academy. But now is the real deal, because I don't think that OMG can really finish the game as of yet. And if they want to get a Baron, I think that Soist is capable of stealing that.
Soist throwing down on the hunt. I think this is mostly used for scouting. I don't think he actually wants to fight anyone right now. But no, he finds Cool. He's going to get in on there. He's got SMLZ coming in from behind. But Soist takes way too much damage now. He's got to watch out for San. San crits him down from the back. Gets the resets. He's on to SMLZ. Khan, he crits him down. And now Khan is not where he wants to be either. The Zanyas keeps Cool safe and sound. And San just 1v5'd them there. I mean, he had some other team members around him, but they were just cheering him on. They were like clapping him down, and they're just like, go San. If San can't do it, well, we're here for moral support. And San just blew World Elite Academy apart. Flash in from Joe Macau Going.
How did San get this kill?
I don't know. Going deserved that, man. He flash stunned underneath turret. Now, well, those turrets won't be there to be underneath much longer, as one will fall, second one gonna go down, and OMG, turn on the revenge, lose game number 1, but bring it back in resounding fashion, doubling World Elite Academy in kills. It's a 30-15 finish, where OMG will take game number 2 versus World Elite Academy.
And so many kills in this best of 2. I think that it might have even reached 100 combined. That is incredible. But OMG in the end, San, every single team that gets a Tristana pretty much wins the game here. It is outstanding.
You see handshakes all around, a 1-1 split for our last best of 2 of the night. Is World Elite Academy and OMG coming out tied. And here we're going to highlight your games for tomorrow. So make sure to come back for Invictus Gaming versus Starhorn Royal Club. A little bit of a battle, because Starhorn are way up at the top, and Invictus still looking to climb their way out of possibility. They can't get relegated at this point, so all they have to do is work on climbing their way up the standings. Of course, the last game of the night as LGD take on World Elite. We still looking for some points to climb up the first place as well. So I got both of those games coming your way. 1600 China time. I believe that will be 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time as well. So make sure to come back for the LPL. It will be broadcast here in English on Twitch TV. Of course, brought to you guys in part by our friends at Games in Asia and Esports Heaven. My name's been Rapid, and I've been here with Nero. If you liked what you saw, we'd love to hear what you had to say, so make sure to hashtag LPL on Twitter. Let us know what you thought. Make sure to come back tomorrow. Thank you all for watching, and on behalf of us here at Twitch, Esports Heaven, and Games in Asia, we'd like to hope to see you back here tomorrow.